Health insurance grows more complex and uncooperative by the minute. But what if you as a physician got to manage your own practice based on communication with patients directly through instant messages, email, and video chat, circumventing the entire health insurance system? Is this a viable healthcare model? You're listening to Reach MD Radio on XM 160, the channel for medical professionals. Welcome to the Clinicians Roundtable. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Greenberg, and joining us to discuss technology and instant communication, new visions for primary care, is Dr. Jay Parkinson, co-founder of Hello Health, a membership-based primary care practice in Brooklyn, New York. Welcome, Jay.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks. Tell us about yourself first. Give me a minute about where you were trained and how you got into this idea, and tell us what the idea is in the first place.
Sure. Hello Health is a new sort of technology that takes a lot of hints from eBay and Flickr and Facebook, and it's really like a social network to connect you with your patient friends, as a matter of fact. So you have a direct connection to all of your patients so that you can coordinate and provide medical care both in person and online.
We're saying you as a doctor have a connection.
Yes, exactly.
Your patients aren't communicating back and forth.
No, the patients also have a direct connection to you. So it's a two-way communication. It's just like, if you can imagine the social networking features of Facebook and the communication in Facebook, the IM, but in addition, we have also video interviews.
You're talking and seeing your patients online. Do you ever see them initially in the flesh?
We always see people initially in the flesh, and then that's once we have that regular, normal relationship, we just augment that relationship with both in-person and online communication.
Okay, now you say your practice, Hello Health, cares for the and underinsured living in and around Brooklyn. Can you take us through the model a little bit more, what it's like to be a patient? Membership costs, cost for visits, etc.?
Right now, patients simply sign up online, just like signing up for Netflix, put in their medical information. They pay $35 a month to be a member, although we're going to be introducing some different price plans that are lower than that in the next few months. And then they pay anywhere from $100 to $200 per office visit and about $100 for an online visit.
So now they're paying $35 a month, and that's just for the video communication, and the visit is $150, right?
Right, exactly.
Do they have to have an initial visit with you?
Yes, we require that just because I think it's best to have a personal relationship with your patients.
Okay, and how long is that visit?
Well, our standard visit right now is 45 minutes, so you get pretty good, time for your money.
Why did you decide to do this?
I'm a big fan of Toyota Lean processes, and just looking at the process of healthcare delivery, there's just so much fluff. And I figured, the Internet's come along to cut all these middlemen out, and, we're all starting to communicate differently nowadays, and whenever you communicate differently, you really change society. So I figured with all of my friends who didn't have insurance, they'd always hit me up on IM or email asking medical questions, and I figured, hey, I think there's a business around this. So I just went at it on my own with free technology. And then along came a really awesome software company that has years of experience in healthcare called Micah, and we're now building this platform to enable doctors across all over America to practice this way.
Are you looking to franchise this or just have doctors be able to do it on their own?
Well, it's not so much a franchise as it is doctors who want to do this on their own. For instance, maybe half of their practice is Hello Health. Of course, that's going to be much more exciting for them in terms of, not having with insurance companies. But, whenever you think about there's 47 million people who are uninsured, they have to pay cash. And oftentimes, they're definitely not poor. They just don't see the value in spending, $6,000, $7,000 on health insurance every year.
Okay, so for my $35 a month, how often can I IM you?
You could IM me as many times as you want. Now, keep in mind the communication that we have set up as scheduled times, like IM visits and video visits. Those are actual visits, so you actually pay for that. Now, email is free.
How long will it take you to get back to my email if you're swamped with 1,000 or 2,000 patients?
Well, since the communication aspect of what we do is sort of integrated into the practice style, the goal is to keep your inbox zero at all times in between patients. It's a mixture of in-person and online interactions, so you have an opportunity to really catch up.
I want to get this clear. So if I want a video conference with you, that's a visit, and I pay for that, right?
Yes.
How much is that? Depends upon the time, or is it always a 45-minute visit?
Oh, no. The video conference, presumably you're dealing with much simpler problems. problem. So just depending on how long it takes, normally it's about 20 minutes or so.
Okay. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Clinicians Roundtable on ReachMD Radio on XM 160, the channel for medical professionals. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Greenberg, and joining me to discuss technology and instant communication, new visions for primary care, is Dr. Jay Parkinson, who's a co-founder of Hello Health, a membership-based primary care practice in Brooklyn, New York. So, Jay, I want to get back to this. So I video conference you. One thing that I would be concerned about, even video conferencing, is don't you miss some of the meta-communication, the actual physical being with that patient? That's, I think, what some people might say about that kind of visit.
Well, when you think about it, video conferencing is strictly verbal communication. So about 50% of the time, at the end of the video conference, you say, well, you know what, I really need to come in and see you. And then we apply the money that you spent on the video conference to the quick visit to establish that in-person physical exam in the office. So we apply that money toward a physical exam.
Do you have an actual physical bricks and mortar office?
Yeah, definitely. The first one's here in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. On about March 1st, we're opening our second one in the West Village, and then soon after that, we'll be in Rittenhouse Square in Philadelphia. But these are just the initial practices. These are sort of the flagship stores, if you will, to prove out the technology and just to show doctors and other health professionals that, hey, this is a really, really great way to practice medicine. You can adopt the technology and do this wherever you are.
Okay, so what about your patients when they get hit by a bus? What happens to them then? Should they have insurance besides this?
Sure. One of the services that we offer is taking a look at how you use healthcare, looking at your financial status, and saying, this is the best policy for you. Oftentimes, younger people need just high deductible, pay-as-you-go health insurance. So that's what we recommend for the vast majority of people.
Okay. And what are the limitations of your system?
Well, to me, I think the major limitations are in the traditional system, in the sense that all you have is an 8-minute office visit, and that tool is 3,000 years old, and you really can't have that direct connection to that person, besides sometimes via phone after they leave. So I think this is just enabling a much more intimate, much more efficient, much more effective way of practicing medicine. So, the main limitation would be if your patients don't use the internet. But the Pew Internet and American Life Foundation just released today, actually, that 31% of people over the age of 71 are on the internet and 41% over 65. So the internet's obviously catching on amongst everybody in the world.
Well, you have some critics out there. What are the critics saying about you, and how do you answer them?
It's mostly because of ignorance, that they don't understand. They've never been on Facebook. They've never used the internet as a tool for efficient communication between groups. So a lot of people think that it's not private or secure, but that's definitely mistaken, because we have put many, many, many dollars toward security of making this stuff completely private. But privacy is more about control than it is secrecy. And I think people are understanding that more and more nowadays. You put your bank records online. Almost everything about you is published. The difference here is that everything that's published about you, you are in control of who sees it.
Well, there are some people who would say that this is just boutique medicine with the cell phone. How do you respond to that?
Well, boutique medicine often charges a significant more monthly or yearly fee than what Hello Health does. We're actually having a free membership in the next few months that we'll be rolling out. So it's not boutique medicine, because boutique medicine often targets just the wealthy. We're targeting all comers.
So you're going to offer free services. Who gets the free services? I'd like to sign up for that.
Well, it's not free services, it's free monthly membership.
Free monthly membership. Okay. And then what are they going to pay in that?
That would be much more expensive per episode, but that's for people who are just in town and looking for an accessible doctor, or just people who don't need to go to the doctor except every very few times a year.
Okay, so what's your future vision for this? What are your plans to expand, or where do you expect to see yourself in 5 years and then 10 years with this?
I look at this as an opportunity to expand, just like eBay really expanded. eBay is a community of people, of buyers and sellers, and that's exactly what we're creating, is a community of buyers, the patients, and sellers, the health professionals. So I would like for our platform to be the go-to space online to connect with people who take care of you. And that's not only doctors, that's nutritionists, that's acupuncturists, that's any health professional any legitimate, sound health professional that you trust and allow you to have a relationship with.
You say buyers and sellers. Have you now stepped away from doctors and patients? It just seems one more step away from the human part of medicine into eBay.
Well, no, definitely not. Buyers are the patients in, a neighborhood, and sellers are doctors and other health professionals in that neighborhood as well.
Okay, but when you use that terminology, I don't mean to play devil's advocate here, but aren't you taking one more step toward the dehumanization of medicine and not the communicative human side? And what are you looking at here? I mean, the guy who started eBay, if that's your vision, he retired. He's living in Paris with his $40 million. Is that what you want to do here, or do you want to really practice medicine? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but the language I'm hearing from you is that of commercialization, not one of caring and communication.
Well, no, this is the beauty of Facebook is that it connects people. It connects your best friends, and it connects people you don't even know. The Internet is now being used mainly for communication rather than strictly information. So I look at the way people are communicating online as a real opportunity to enhance a relationship. So we're just building tools for doctors to enhance their relationship with their patients. But on the back end as well, we're providing an easy way to get paid for your services. I mean, medicine is a business. So that's exactly what we're enabling, is a doctor and other health professional to make a living off communicating on the Internet and seeing their patients in person.
So do you see us moving to this model, or part of our practice is moving, or using it as a tool in our model? What do you see 10 years down the road?
Well, ideally, it would be your entire practice that would communicate this way, just because it's so efficient. I mean, when you look at the healthcare delivery process of Hello Health, it's a third of the steps of the traditional healthcare delivery system. If we can get as many doctors and other professionals online so that people have an entire team of health professionals taking care of them, I think we have something going for ourselves.
Okay, so what about for us old geezers who think that Facebook is totally boring and hate communicating that way and really like to see people face to face and hold their hands and touch them and hug them? Are we going to be out of the loop?
No, not at all, because you can communicate as much as you want online.
Where do people find you if they want to communicate with you?
They would see my profile on HelloHealth.com.
I would like to thank my guest from Hello Health Primary Care Practice, Dr. Jay Parkinson. We've been speaking about a new technologically oriented model for primary care. I'm Dr. Michael Greenberg. You've been listening to the Clinicians Roundtable on ReachMD, the channel for medical professionals. Be sure to visit our website at reachmd.com, featuring on-demand podcasts of our entire library, including this show, and we truly thank you for listening.